Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 2 of the SideQuest podcast with myself, Ron Swanson, and of course, DJ Petrovsky, Nick from Sober and Stories. We're here to delve into the conspiratorial side of things. We're going to take the pressure cooker off a little bit because everything's been a bit hardcore over the last sort of couple of weeks. So we're going to delve into the conspiratorial side of the war, the files, and the aliens, okay? Because what was that about? Like that was a crazy take, right? With the Obama and with Trump. But before we do that, Nick, how are you? What's been happening, and how's your week been, brother?
Man, week's been good. I'm doing good. Jim Carrey video's been doing good.
Oh yeah,
life is good. Yeah, and it's warm out here, so I've been enjoying some outside time, which is good. I feel like I need that. I'm always in my dark basement, but yeah, life is good.
Well, in true SideQuest fashion, let's completely ignore the topics and talk about your video on Jim Carrey. What was your analysis on that? Like, take us through it, because that was. I mean, we even had the official response from Jim Carrey. Okay, so we can all sleep easy now that he's okay, right? So,
right.
what was your take?
It was kind of wild. I went through kind of his whole past, went through all of his movies, and I found a lot of theme. There's like a huge theme of identity issues throughout all of his films. And I kind of came to the conclusion that I really don't know. It definitely seems like a mask. There's some pictures I found where you can see when you zoom in, it looks like his eyes are definitely like behind some sort of mask, like they're real sunk in. And then it also seems like he got Botox everywhere except for his freaking eye area. Like his eyes are hella wrinkly right here, but the rest of him is super tight. So it definitely gave me mask vibes. And with how outspoken he was, pretty much starting in like 2014, starting in like 2011, moving up through 2014, he was extremely outspoken. Like a lot of the videos you guys have seen circulating with him talking about the Illuminati and talking about vaccines, which I thought was crazy. This was probably the weirdest part for me, is that him and Jenny McCarthy were super against vaccines in like 2015, just because of some California law that got passed. And then in COVID, like during COVID 2020, 2021, ghosted, silent, no Jim Carrey, no nothing. And he's super against vaccines and like safe vaccines. And yet the biggest vaccine situation we've had in years, and he's totally silent. So I feel like something happened where he is either dead or they've just silenced him to the point where they're like, either you shut up or we're going to shut you up. And so now he has like a body double kind of going out and doing stuff for him. He even admitted he has a body double that he uses to go, just to like enjoy his day, to send the body double one way and he goes and does this thing the other. And so I don't know. There's always a little bit of truth in everything he does, but the one thing I really learned about him more than anything was his love for Andy Kaufman. And I'm like infatuated with Andy. So that's what I'm going to talk about this week, is Andy Kaufman, because he's just fascinating. But I think that's where Jim gets a lot of his just like over the top, like pushing it a little far, almost awkward humor, Yeah.
Well, what was the name of the Kaufman? Sorry, Kaufman. So Jim Carrey played Kaufman, right? He played what was it? Do you remember the name of the movie?
Yeah, it's called Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. That was it. That was an incredible movie.
Yeah, and the documentary about it is really good, called Jim and Andy. It's about him literally never breaking character. He just is Andy Kaufman for the duration of the movie. And it's not only hilarious, but very interesting. Yeah. And then that's kind of when Jim Carrey's identity issues really start. After that, he starts talking about Jim Carrey being a character, just another one of the characters that he's played, which is totally true. Like, if you think about it, like, we're all just the character that we've been playing, and we adapt the character. Some people are more authentic and genuine of a character. Other people are more of an actual facade of a character, but it is in effect a character that we have to play. And there's all these things that were assigned at birth. Like, you're a Christian, you're a son, you're a brother. Like, there's all these labels we're given at birth right out the gates. We don't even have a choice in. So I was like, that's a really interesting take. But the thing I thought of was, like, if Jim Carrey is just a character, then anybody could play him, right? Like, so Jim Carrey doesn't have to actually be out there playing him. He could send this guy out and have him accept this award. But at every single award ceremony Jim Carrey's ever been to, he's either really deep and philosophical to the point where nobody understands what he's talking about, or he's sarcastic and basically just making fun of everybody for how pointless the award ceremony is. There's not a single award ceremony where he's actually just been stoked to be there. And yet now this French award ceremony, which, I mean, I guess it's a big deal. I don't really know. Like, it's not like a huge deal.
It was an odd one. It was an odd one. I mean, we can all kind of recognize the trophies, like the Oscars, the BAFTAs, the one that's the little freaking like old school record player and things like this. I've never seen this. There's a big old totem right here.
So ugly.
So yeah, I mean, it's the one to grab for if an intruder's in the house. Like that's the one you grab. 100%, bro. But it's an interesting one, and I just wanted to sort of get your take on it because people have been talking about it all. I don't know where I stand on it all. I've not invested a lot of time into it because it's like I know somebody else is going to get to the bottom of it.
Well, listen to this, man. I didn't know this, but Jim Carrey started a I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. It's something something Better You Foundation, I think is what it's called. But he started this foundation in 2005, and in 2010 the Clinton Global Initiative invited him to do work with them down in Haiti. So yet again, another person who did work down in Haiti that's suspicious circumstances, and a lot of Illuminati, occult, deep state talk comes out after this, because it wasn't until after 2011 that he started saying this kind of stuff and things like flipped for him. And that's when he was in Haiti with the Clintons. And then he also was the guy who was requested by Soundgarden to induct Soundgarden and Chris Cornell into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, literally in November of last year. And I thought that was interesting. And all of those, Chris Cornell, Jim Carrey, like all these people that we know are now passed away. They were all doing stuff down in Haiti after the earthquake with the Clinton Foundation, or working in tandem with the Clinton Foundation. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that about Jim Carrey, that he had that humanitarian organization.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've got to look at this in two ways, right? He's either part of the club or he isn't part of the club. Okay. I don't think he would have got to where he was if he wasn't part of the club. His backstory convinces me that he has possibly got the ability to have gotten to a higher level without being in the club, and then he made an offer and refused it. But I don't know where I sit with Jim. I really don't. I hope he's one of the good guys, but
that's exactly where I'm at. Like, I think me and Kim both want to think that he's a good guy, and we would be really sad to find out that he's not. And so we want to think that. And the thing that's really been throwing us for a loop is the Isaac Cappy video, talking about how Jim called him up and was asking for his help because he's scared of the Brackets and Jackets videos. And then I saw this post on X of this guy saying that Jim Carrey had assumed the like high priest position. So he's actually like really high up in the culture. And so I was trying to look for stuff about that. I couldn't really find anything, but he assumed the role from somebody else. I don't remember who.
Well, the more people say he's Keanu Reeves, the more I can't stop seeing Keanu Reeves' face in Jim Carrey's face, right? Like all I can see is like whispers of Keanu Reeves staring back at me. So thank you for putting that brainworm in my head, everybody. That's super cool. Well, look. Oh my God. Let's talk about aliens. All right, let's talk about aliens. I'm sick and tired of just ranting about Epstein files. So if we take up like 50 minutes of the show about aliens and then do a minute on freaking Epstein files and a minute on the war at the end, okay, nailed this. Okay, because aliens are something that we talk about quite a lot, or have done on this channel, on my channel, in my community. A friend of mine, Danny Henderson, runs GSIC, which is this huge global event for all of the disclosure for off-worlders and, you know, aliens and all this stuff. And personally, when we break it down, I'm a really tough sale on endless space. Okay, like endless space seems a bit what? It's endless, is it? Like the Grand Canyon's pretty big, right? That's pretty big, but endless space. Hang on one second. It's me. Yes, that was Jim. He's never been part of the club. I was there from the beginning with him. We have grandchildren. Stop. Okay, Alyssa Carey, no problem. Thank you for being here. So,
For real.
What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, GSIC. So, what the hell was it? What was I talking about? It was GSIC, right? I was talking about GSIC. I was talking about aliens.
Your buddy.
Yeah. So Danny Henderson puts on this event, and she has these incredible moments where she's had flyovers at the last couple of her events, where they have communicated with through certain individuals to have these freaking spaceships, bro. Let's cut the crap. Freaking spaceships fly over the event, and this is one of the videos from it.
Are those more birds?
Whoa.
So they're going to fire lasers up in a minute so that you can see the distance, and then you'll see the refraction off of them. It's bananas, right? It's absolutely bananas.
That's crazy. That's sick. Yeah, because I've seen what's that guy's name? Dr. Stephen Greer, and he does those CT5, like Close Encounter 5 things where they summon aliens. And it's all telepathic. It's like a collective telepathic like group. It's like group telepathy calling aliens. And I was like, that's crazy, but it works. Like I'd say I watched a bunch of interviews and people are like, yeah, I'd say I've done 2 of them, and they're like, I've seen aliens both times. And a lot of people are like, yeah, and like most of the time when he does it, they see stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy because so many people, like, we all want to believe, right? But when it gets to the point of presidents admitting they're real and the possibility that, you know, ships are going to land and all the rest of it, I think a lot of people start pissing their pants, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, right? Because nothing really ever turns out how we think about it, right? And I mean, we romanticize about what we think off-worlders might look like and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, what if they look proper mental, right? Like, what if they look proper mental, mate? And there's just no way that we would be able to come to terms with what we're looking at, right? That's always a possibility. But unless they whip out the aliens, no one's going to believe in the aliens, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
I mean, even if they do, there's going to be people that say it's not, you know. But I was just listening to Bill Cooper, or watching his documentary on Bill Cooper, and him talking about his experience realizing that UFOs and aliens were real. And he saw this, I guess it'd be a USO, pop out of the water, fly around, do a bunch of impossible maneuvers that humans can't do, and then went back into the water. And he's like, well, there's no technology that we have as humans that can go from air to water without getting obliterated when it hits the water. And he's like, it has some sort of force field in front of it, almost like a shield, you know, that like moves the water out of the way of the spacecraft as it goes into it. And I was just fascinated by that. But he was talking about seeing that while he was on a submarine out in the middle of the ocean. I was like, that's freaking wild. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. And I'm now realizing that this is the first time, I think, since the AI, like, massive boom, that I've started to look for some alien footage, UFO footage. So this is going to be a train wreck of alleged freaking this and that. But I mean, there's been a lot of footage that's been caught from. Okay, all right, come on. I thought this was going to be the one. This one here. This is the one here. Like this piece of footage here. This is crazy. Do you know this one?
Is that the jellyfish thing?
Well, it was caught here traveling across the radar system or whatever the hell it is, the camera system, and they don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, and I think it goes in the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
There's another one. It's like a jellyfish, dude. You got to look that one up. It flies over a military base, and they can only see it on infrared cameras, and they track it for like it's like a 9-minute video. It's crazy. But dude, that is the scariest looking alien I've ever seen in my life. It literally gives me mild nightmares. It looks like a jellyfish flying through the air.
Oh, bro, what is this?
Dude, tell me that's not the freakiest thing you've ever seen.
Dude.
Like transparent. Like if it wasn't for the infrared, nobody can see it.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
so this is invisible other than to infrared. Oh
yeah,
no, that's not working at all.
And I saw this in that investigation Alien or whatever, the documentary on Netflix with George Knapp. He put it in there, and I was like, "What in the actual fuck is that?"
It's bonkers,
isn't it? It's like you've seen aliens, but then, like you were saying before, you're just like, "Would I ever interact with that?" No, I'd be so scared. I'd be like, "What is this thing?"
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's kind of this gone floppy and it's flying through the air and its arms and tentacles are dragging behind it.
It looks sad, like he just got rejected or something.
I don't want to come back here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your guys in the chat's take on stuff like this? Because, you know, it's comforting for some reason when it's a flying saucer, but when it's an indiscriminately bizarre shape like this, like,
knowing
what do you
there can see it too? Like nobody there was aware that this thing was flying around. It's not until this video footage it obviously like triggered something, or somebody was watching it and they're like, "Holy shit, what is this?" But people standing underneath that thing never know it's there. Makes you wonder how many times you're out at a rock show or something at the club and there's aliens floating around.
Well, speaking of weird things, right? Do you remember the stories about Vietnam with the red night vision goggles?
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, bro. So let me just pull this up, right?
Oh, and this is a military base in Iraq, by the way, that he's flying over. You're just like, dude, where are you going? Where are you going?
Bro, he's off on one. So I'm just pulling up the information on this now.
No, you're good. While you're doing that, have you heard about the spirit molecule, people that take that and they blast off and then they use like the giant laser, like like those people were using in that UFO video? They use one of those giant lasers and they shine it on the wall or like whatever they shine it onto. And people say that when they are high on the spirit molecule, they can see matrix code as if they're seeing the matrix. And it's not just like one person who had this crazy experience. It's like a thing that they take. It's like a business now. They bring people in, have them do this, use the lasers and show them the matrix. And it's like multiple people have seen this and experienced this, but I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah, here's the clip about this, right? So yeah, but I mean that is wild. Hang on one sec. I mean, could you imagine though? How would your brain deal with that? I mean, how do you process seeing the matrix code? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I'm too stupid to even figure out how my brain would react to something like that. Like, it's just
same. I'm like
yeah. I don't know. This is the clip, right? So check this out.
Dude, you know, night vision now, it's green. Yep. But in the Vietnam War, the night vision goggles that they were issued were red light.
Okay.
Multiple people in the U.S. military that were using them were seeing what they were reporting as flying demons.
Ew, stop.
And so there's an instance where they're flying these helicopters in Vietnam. It was a safe zone, no hostility. And then the gunner in the back started shooting. And the pilot's like, "What are you shooting at?" This guy, he was like panicked.
Yeah.
He's like, "The demon." Apparently this giant winged demon creature was like flying at him. And then people on the ground in the jungles that were using it, they were also seeing like these demonic, freaky looking creatures. And so the military banned those night vision goggles.
What?
And they replaced them with green light. Apparently a lot of these do they freaky looking creatures. So
no big deal, right? No big deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've looked into it a little bit because I heard the same thing. They were putting stuff inside the goggles. The chemical was literally leaking, so they were literally tripping.
Like it was a hallucinogenic drug.
It's weird, dude.
Yeah, man. So hallucinogenic drug, seeing demons for real. It was an absolute banger because these are the sort of theories that will live on, right? Because it's awfully convenient that it's a hallucinogenic chemical, right? That just so happened to bleed into the eye and just so happened to make you trip balls and just so happened to make a whole bunch of people see the same thing, right?
That is wild. Seriously.
Right?
Crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, another one was, do you remember the Miami shopping mall alien situation, right?
No.
Like they're bro. So do you all remember this? This was crazy, and this is like when this happened, there was people on TikTok talking about they're in the shopping center, and it was like this huge electrical ball of energy, like Raiden charging up his freaking blast, right? And this huge burst of energy happened, and these massive beings were standing in front of them, and people had footage, like little snippets of footage. People were telling the story, and then, bro, the next day, those people were being like, "Oh yeah, I must have been mistaken what I seen. I've deleted my footage. I must have had a moment to myself." Right?
No way.
Look, I just want to show you something. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get an actual picture of this.
How have I not heard of this?
I want you to take a look at the cop cars that are around this mall and tell me if you think this is a normal response.
Oh shit.
Okay, right. So all of the cops turn up, and
counties in here. We got neighboring state police officers,
right?
In FBI.
So then we have this
stars.
video. Then we have the video appear on the news. Okay. And if you look here,
Whoa.
we have this massive figure and a bit of a shadow casting, right?
Look at how
And
big it's almost the size of a car.
this got vaporized from the news quicker than you can say, hey, is that a massive alien standing in Miami with a bunch of police around them, right? And
is why I didn't see anything about it.
bro, it is just bananas.
That's crazy.
It's bananas. And if we go back to the YouTube search results, where are we? Here. This should be the clip.
Whoa. The shadow for real, though.
Is this the right one? Is this it here? I don't know where I'm looking. Oh, there. No.
There, yeah. Look at that giant fucking shadow. What the? And then it just disappears.
It just wanders across, and like no one talks about this anymore, right?
I've never heard of this, and I'm into UFOs. Like I'll periodically go down just a UFO scroll for like a few days,
Yeah,
and then my feed is inundated with it. And somebody in the chat something about the Phoenix lights are the best, and that is one of the ones that really gets me sucked back into that. But this Miami, I'm about to look at Miami stuff for sure. This is wild.
It went bananas and then nothing.
Dude, yet
like,
again,
absolutely nothing.
Florida is the craziest state in the United States. The weirdest stuff happens there, I swear.
Yeah. What was the name of the state? The what lights?
Phoenix lights. It's in Arizona. Yeah. That one's crazy. I'm sure you've seen it. It's pretty famous, but it's one over the city.
Of course. But did you see the reaction of the mayor of Phoenix after it all happened? Where he addressed the people and then brought out a guy in an alien costume and mocked everyone.
Yeah. I do remember that.
And then I'm pretty sure later he came out and he was like, I was told to mock the people. I know what I saw. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll get this up. Because this, if you haven't seen this is, consider yourself about to view one of the classics here, people.
What I'm looking at here is a light on South Mountain. You can see this light flickering over our mountain over here.
Like, I mean, just build ships without lights on them at this point, aliens. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just turn the lights off, bro. Like, just turn the lights off. So with that mindset, though, we have to assume that they want the lights on, and this is for us to see, right?
Well, especially this one, because this one, the lights aren't there, and then out of nowhere, they just poof.
Right.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, you're going to see that happen. It's bonkers. It is incredible.
There's two of them. Peter, we finally hit Peter. Now we've got two of them in the sky on South Mountain. Figure this one out. There's a double. There's a third one. Hey, Sue?
Mom!
There's aliens.
All right, you tell me what it is.
And they're just there now and bright as hell. Oh, there's another one.
You know, the crazy thing is to me, it starts looking like a massive circumference.
Oh, what do we got?
Oh yeah, I truly think that it is a massive ship. I don't think that it's multiple.
Yeah.
ships.
Like all of a sudden, you're kind of
Hey,
like,
so-
okay, no, I'd rather just have 9 little ships. I'd rather have 9 little ships, please.
Yeah, we've still got the one way over here on the left.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a massive mothership.
Take a look at this.
I love how chill this guy is, just filming this with his
Right.
90s recorder.
Oh my god.
I hit pay dirt. Finally. Submitted for your approval. What have we got here?
Whoa.
It's the South Mountain. That's the city in front of us.
And they're like
Those
super
lights have
uniform.
appeared.
Yeah.
Well, that is a totally different configuration than we've ever
Super
seen.
uniform and just static.
The way that they're talking, she's like, that is a completely different configuration than we've ever
I'm
seen
sitting over
before.
here
So what,
saying to
there's
myself,
multiple aliens
I got
down
the
there
camera-
before?
Now that one went out to
That
the
one went off
to the left,
to the east.
to the east. The time is about 10 o'clock, Sue.
Yes.
10 o'clock, March 13th, Thursday night.
It's like the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, a little bit.
Isn't that weird? Look at that. And they all went on in a sequence, too. Now, the thing that puzzles me is they can't be ordinary streetlights. They're going off now, right?
Yeah.
One
went
drop.
off.
The thing that's amazing is that it must be so bright that they would carry, because we're looking at about 25 miles away. The middle one
there,
now.
there went. Oh,
The two,
another one.
there's another one.
Yep,
last
there
one.
was one.
We have the last one left. Still burning.
And usually we've seen them over.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, when we start talking about what's happened recently with Obama and Trump and them saying that they're going to, I mean, I'm not being funny. Did Trump not say that he's ordered the declassification of all information concerning UFOs and aliens? Did he not say that? And then just went to war?
Yeah, I don't know if he said it or not, but I definitely saw posts circulating online, and whether they were true or not, or it was actually what he said, I saw lots of posts saying that he was going to release the alien files, which literally just laughable. And
well, this is what I said, Nick, right? I said, I imagine if he was to do it, right, he would whip out a piece of space rock with a fungus growing on it inside a plastic cube that's technically alien life, right?
Yeah.
It's technically that fungus is alien life. And they went with a different direction with it all. And what's going on just now, right, with the war, the conflict, everything, I feel like the conspiracy I want to throw out here, right, is that we're building up for a global conflict that will mean that Donald Trump will continue to be president for like the next freaking 20 years, right? Until he dies, he will be president. I think that's what his end goal is. I feel like that's what his like legacy and desire is, because if he can keep that position until he cops it, who cares about what's in the remaining 3 million files, right?
True. Yeah, true. And I did find a bunch of, I think it was in my video on Peter Thiel and Palantir, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and I feel like one more person, where they were saying that this will be the last election, like talking about the previous election we just went through. And I was like, that's such a weird statement. And they say it so matter of factly, and like not just like we may not have elections. And like the theory is that like Palantir software was going to take over the like it's not going to be an election piece. It's going to be like AI is taking over politics. It's like we don't have a president anymore. AI is president. And then yeah, I just thought that was really weird for them to say. Like, yep, we just aren't going to have any more elections now.
It's
But no,
crazy to think though, because
what up, Lynn? Sorry, my homie's in there. I had to say what's up. Yeah, somebody in the comments said something like, I am actually happy the aliens are watching over us because I'm a firm believer. I feel like the alien sightings really started after the first nukes started going off, when they started testing them, and it's no surprise that the area where they're testing nukes is the same area where Roswell ends up crashing. The crash site is. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
There's a whole documentary I started watching about supposed alien crash zones that they just build facilities over the top of. Like they can't move the craft, so they'll just build a facility over the top, start digging down, and start pulling out what they can find. And I'm hoping, right, when the person that said they're watching over us, right. So here's my theory on this: if they're watching over us, I'm assuming, if we go by the rules of Star Trek, right, that a civilization has to get to a certain point before the aliens will land and give us the cure for cancer and, perpetual energy and all of this stuff, right? That makes sense to me. But the problem is, we live in a world where everything is controlled and restricted. Medicine's restricted, technology is restricted. So should that have happened 100 years ago and everything is just being held back for profit so much? And if that's the case, why is nobody keeping track on the people that are down here and our progress? It really starts becoming a conundrum to me. So then it has to be then that they are not coming down here because they have a deal and it benefits them by not showing up, right?
Well, you know what Bill Cooper said when I was watching the Bill Cooper thing, when he was talking about how he started getting more into top secret, because he ended up getting a top secret clearance. He was actually like pretty high up in the Navy. And he said that there is 4 different species of aliens that we've recovered, and that we've entered into a diplomatic agreement with one of them. That's what he said.
Okay, interesting.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'd never heard of this before, but that's pretty wild. And I could totally, like you said, I could totally see it. And I mean, if you think about like the pyramids and stuff too, like Kim and I think that definitely free energy creation sites. Like there has to be some sort of benefit. And it's not just a stargazer site. Like I feel like that has to be a free energy production center. There's so much weirdness going on with the pyramids.
Yeah,
I think it might have something to do with that.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. They've just taken new. Here we go. So obviously this is just an artist rendition.
Wait. Somebody said, what about that top UFO guy going missing 2 days ago? I have not heard about this.
I know, let's have a look.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like, whoa.
Oh, no, you're all good. Oh, God. Okay. Former U.S. Air Force general linked to UFO research goes missing in New Mexico.
What the?
All right. A retired Air Force general who spent part of his career engaged in UFO research has disappeared in New Mexico. William Near McCaslin, 68, was seen around 11 a.m. local time on Friday near Qual Run Core NE in Albuquerque, according to Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, which is leading the investigation to find him. His wife said that he left his home without his watch or phone. Okay. Which was considered unusual for a man known to be an experienced outdoorsman with a passion for hiking and skiing. Yeah, maybe his research annoyed someone and they beamed him up, Scotty. Like,
yep. Seems like it.
The Sheriff's Office said the silver alert had been issued from indicating a particular concern for his well-being because he suffers from an unsuspected medical condition. I wonder if he'll come back naked and cold in the desert and cured. Do you know what I mean?
Really. Yeah. Like that. What's that other guy? There's a documentary about him, Thomas or something, that disappeared, and all of his friends thought that, or all the cops thought that his friends murdered him out in the woods. And then, and then he showed up like 5 days later, like 200 miles away in a different city. And so then his friends were off the hook because they're like, oh, he's still alive. But they almost got accused of murder because this dude disappeared, and he says that he was abducted. And his friends saw it happen too, I'm pretty sure. But nobody believed him.
Damn.
Obviously. There's a whole documentary about it. I can't remember what it's called, though. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'll check. Just going back to what you were saying about the pyramids, right? This is kind of what this part of the image over here, right? Like this is what some people are saying that we're looking at, right? And they've done scans. I was trying to find the scans of them that show that there's these massive structures that have got these separate columns within them under the pyramids. And of course, this is the rendition of what you were saying there about the energy source, if they were to be seen and be used like that. And the way they're lined up with the stars, and all the pyramids seem to be suspiciously, right, lined up bloody well with stuff. And that is facing upwards into the sky and the stars, but also how they're lined up around the world as well. It's mental.
It's in the middle of the freaking desert, like in the middle of nowhere.
Well, keep in mind, it wasn't always a desert. It used to be a lush, greenland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I watched
climate change. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Climate change. It's a bit dusty now.
But I mean, here in Colorado, it's been like 70 degrees all winter. We got maybe 2 snows, and that is super weird. And now the grass is getting green. So I'm like, what is going on, dude? Global warming for sure.
It's crazy. I mean, it's I don't believe the hype, but there's definitely something going on. But yeah, that's another a good one to be talking about. Did you say you're going to be covering Egypt, or you had covered Egypt and the pyramids?
No, but I should. Honestly, that'd be a good story topic because I'm just fascinated by them, and so many people are. There's so many good documentaries with so many different theories, and I was watching this video though of this guy who took a no explanation, just like some cheesy music. He just takes this RC car and he loads it up in a bag, gets on a plane, flies to Egypt, gets off the plane, goes to the pyramids, starts driving this car. And it's like he knew exactly where he was going. He goes into this tiny little hole in the side of the pyramids that only his little car can get into. Like a human body's not going to fit, maybe a cat. He drives this thing for a minute and it's got a camera on it so you can see what's going on. And it goes all the way up to the end. And then there's just this 90-degree drop down. And he drives the car forward, trying to like get a look of what's down there. And then the car falls in and the camera feed goes black. And like, you're just like, what is down there? And that's what the video says, like, what is down this hole? And I never really thought about the giant columns underneath the ground like that. That could very well be what he was falling into. Giant air. I don't know, but that was wild. I was like, where did he get this idea?
Right. Why is there exhaust pipes that no one has stuck anything in yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's weird because you would think that with how much people want to, how they know the population wants answers and to discover things and all the rest of it, it always blows my mind that when the things that are directly in front of us, like the pyramids, these mysteries, why they're not completely explored to the fullest of their capabilities, it has to be because they're not. It's not because they're scared of discovering something. It's because they're keeping things secret.
That's. I was literally just thinking that because they can say all they want that people couldn't handle it, but I'm sure people could handle it, and it'd be way more beneficial for us to have however many people on Earth there are, all these brains working together to figure things out, or like to work together with these other creatures or whatever, man. But it just seems like there's got to be a bigger reason why they're hiding it. And maybe it is because it would literally destroy our understanding of civilization and cue us into the fact that it's all fake. Like it's all the society.
They have to admit their lies then too. They have to admit their lies. They can't just go, oh wait, oh whoa, you're right. There is a secret city or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like they have to then fully acknowledge the nonsense they've been spoon feeding people.
Well, I saw when I was doing my JFK video, one of the possible reasons that people think he might have gotten killed was because he was talking about his trip to Roswell to examine the bodies that they discovered at the crash site down there. And he had told Marilyn Monroe that. And that was one of the reasons why like they found out that he was spreading top secrets. But I thought that was interesting. There is a document where it's a CIA release document that does this very specifically says he's going to this area in Roswell to look at the recovered, it says like the recovered biologics or something, you know, it's like slightly scientifically coded, but obviously that's because they recovered bodies. So I was like, that's pretty wild. It's in a CIA document. So, I mean, I don't really feel like there's much you can say to that.
Right. Look, I'm going to have to apologize to you, Nick, and apologize to everybody. I've had this mad toothache for weeks, and I've been talking for about 3 hours, and my freaking tooth is it's flaring up again, mate. I've just taken some painkillers, so we might have to end in about 10 minutes, Nick, if that's all right, because it's just, I don't want to keep angering it. It's going to be coming out. I keep saying it's going to be coming out, and then I wake up and there's no pain anymore. But I'm usually only waffling nonsense for about an hour. Yeah, I've just taken the ibuprofen. I've just taken the ibuprofen, mate.
When I lost that tooth, though, man, that was the worst. And then they're like, you got to schedule an orthodontist appointment. And they're like, the earliest appointment is 2 weeks from now. I'm like, I am going to pass out right now from the pain I'm experiencing. Yeah, I was doing ibuprofen and Tylenol for like 2 weeks. It was rough.
It's these headphones. See, when the tooth starts flaring up on this side, the pressure of the headphones starts making also as well. Who the hell stuck a nerve ending in a tooth? Like, it's a piece of porcelain. Like, it's a piece of porcelain. Like, why does it need a nerve?
Yeah, that is a good question. I've never thought of that.
Like, it doesn't need a nerve. And if it does need a nerve, dial it back and don't connect it to every other nerve ending in my face. Like relax. Okay. Somebody like was really hungover when they were designing the human on that day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really hungover, because man, yeah.
Also, I'm gonna
you
look
got a lot of nerve.
That's great.
Nice.
That's great.
So yeah, and it's
I wanted to ask you, Ron, about your UFO experiences, personal experiences.
Bro, like, I have had multiple crazy experiences. I think what I'll do is I'll collect some of the footage I've got from the stuff that's been going on over the house. I've had a few stuff that's caught on camera that I filmed over the house, and that was right after I had an interview with Danny Henderson, and I had basically said to the off-worlders, like, I'm not here for blind faith. Like, don't be landing here and expecting blind faith. They need to prove themselves. And then I mean, it looked like, you know, when you see a star and it's like a round pin of light. This was like a square wobbling. Imagine a square jelly with a bulb in it going on a plate. That's what it looked like in the sky. And in the video, like, I ask it to fucking move, and it does all this. It's bonkers. But the craziest thing I've ever experienced, bro. And I went camping by myself with the dog up to the reservoir, and I was lying on my back. And it was at the time when I was still learning bushcraft, so I had like one of these one-man tube tents, and I used to like lie in the tent up to about here, and then lie out the tent looking up at the stars. And bro, right, like, just above where I was lying, like a gap appeared in the clouds, right?
Whoa.
And I had never seen the sky that was behind these clouds before, right? Like, it looked like someone had taken like a photograph of the universe, like, of all the stars in the universe, and dialed up all of the settings, right? So all of the whites, you know how you can sometimes see a little star and then they turn up all the settings in the photograph and it really pops. It looked like that. Then, bro, there was these two little lights just flying about, right? And I'm lying there going, this is how it ends for me. Like, they've opened up the clouds, they're going to come down now, and they're going to go, and I'm going to get lifted up into a freaking saucer, and I'm going to be gone. And I sat and watched this for about 45 minutes, and then the clouds, it wasn't until the clouds started moving, right, and the hole moved, that I realized why was none of the clouds moving before that, though, right? Like, why was that like that? And It was. I didn't feel any. I mean, I obviously had that passing moment in my head, but it never felt threatening or anything like that. But it was weird. It was really weird. And I guess it's not. I don't count this one as a UFO, but this was an unidentified flying ball of light in the woods. Now, I've spent a lot of time in the woods, and one of the places I go is the Ministry of Defense's training field and facility, but it also happens to be public land, so I can camp on it, and there's no problem.
Yeah, that's way cool.
I know what things look like in the woods. I know what a massive torch or flashlight looks like. I know what a quad bike light looks like. I know what stuff looks like in the woods, okay? And I was sitting with Thor. Thor fell asleep, and the first thing that happened is noticeably all of the sounds stopped in the woods. The wind stopped, the trees stopped, the animals stopped. And then it sounded like 3 or 4 small children went running past, right? Just not there was no children noises. It was just if I had to average the weight of the sound like this. Yeah. My dog asleep. He is out cold. And where the sound was going to, where I turned, was me looking through all of the trees. Now, about 100 foot in front of me was all pine forest. And then you get to the edge of the pine forest, and then there's a huge opening of grass, and then another big square of pine forest, right? In between my pine forest and the other pine forest was a freaking floating ball of light, bro, right? This ball of light, I mean, it looked massive. And I've got this on film. It's on a hard drive somewhere, but it was filmed on like a Nokia 3297 back in the day, right? So what I see is this huge ball of light ends up being 4 pixels, right? And then out of that ball of light, there was 4 or 5 other little balls of light that came out around it. And it just starts moving across, keeps moving until it becomes level with me and stops, and then starts coming towards my woods, right? Dog still asleep, okay? There is no sense of fear running through me. It was a weird sense of calm, and it keeps coming towards me. And I watch this fucking thing pass through a tree, right? Just through the tree. And as it gets closer, I suddenly realize the fuck is going on here. And I really have a moment of panic. And as soon as that panic happened, it started going back the way it came.
Wow.
It went back the way it came. And I watched this thing as if it was slowly going, are you sure? You sure I can't come? You sure I can't come over? Like, it gave me that kind of vibe. There was no sense of fear or anything. And I watched it cross the bit of grass and disappear, and slowly it didn't drift off. It went and into itself. Then the fucking dog woke up. Then the noises started back up in the woods. Mad.
Wild,
it was mad. It was so mad, bro.
I feel like my dog wakes up so easy. Like, I don't know about your dog. My dog wakes up at the smallest sound. At me they wake up. So that is pretty weird. That's super weird.
He was too far away for me to like kick him or like slap him awake without having to make any noise. So I'm like throwing my shoes at him. I'm throwing bottles of water at him, and he's just like out cold, bro. Out cold. But it was a wild experience, man. It really, really was. And I mean, I've had paranormal and odd stuff taking place in my life as long as I can remember it. And we can delve into it all in our night. But look, I'm really sorry, Nick, we're having to cut tonight short. I'm going to go and press a freaking hot water bottle against my face and lie down and feel very sorry for myself. And hopefully
just oil pull, which is definitely helpful, and it can help heal your other teeth a little bit. That one might be too far gone, but oil pull, coconut oil.
Yeah. I don't have any of those things. Like, you're talking to a guy who ran out of milk like 3 days ago and still hasn't bothered to buy any milk, bro. Like, people keep saying, oh, just use some clove oil. All right, alchemist. Like, bring your philosopher's stone up here. Oh, let me go to the haberdashery and get myself some from the parlor, the cellar. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I look like I have clove oil? Right? Jesus Christ. I'm lucky if I can get a washing out the machine and dried and folded in the space of a 24-hour period. It seems to be like a 4-day event with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I can see that that's dry and needs folded up. Okay, let's just look this way, and now it's dead to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Freaking clove oil. Damn. Yeah, I didn't realize that eye drops went out of date, right? And I had the same eye drops for about 18 months. And for like 3 months, I'm like, these are really burny. These are really burny. Yeah. I'm that guy. Okay. I'm that guy.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's okay. Now, it's Ron's, this tooth, the tooth at either side of it had to be removed because of some shenanigans. And like over the last 10 years, just chewing on this one tooth has just made it wobble. Do you know what I mean? And now it has just taken everything that makes a tooth and throw the rule book out the window. It's just thrown the rule book out the window. It's just, it looks like one of those like those hula girls on the like on the driver's dashes, you know, the little plastic things. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So it's coming out, man. It's coming out. I guarantee the dentist is going to do this. Bing! And out that thing is going to come. I don't know what is holding it in. I don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you something. If this is what the human design is, where basically you need a dentist, what came first, the human or the dentist? Because were we just all dying of dysentery or something? Like what was going on? Like it's freaking madness. No, there's no abscess. No, there's no abscess. It's not that kind of toothache pain. The pain is coming from whatever the circular hole is in my freaking skull where the tooth's going in. It feels like it's just around there. As I'm talking and my tooth's going off my cheek, it just agitates the hell out of it, and then it starts spreading. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but look, I'm sorry we have to finish early, and Nick, we'll be back next week, everybody. I thank you all. I've not been well this week as well, and I've done a triple session today, and I'm still at about 90%, so I should be 100% back tomorrow. And yeah, it's the nerve. Well, listen, let's not keep saying the word nerve over and over again in case the nerve hears us talking about it and decides to like try and show off. We don't want that. You just shush, little guy. But look, thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to the Shaun Attwood channel. Thank you to Nick. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to all of you at home. We'll be back very, very soon. Thank you all. And from me, Ron Swanson, as always, take care. Nick's links in the description. Nick, you want to say goodbye to the people? You got anything you want to say to the people?
I just really appreciate you guys tuning in. It's I love chatting with Ron, so this is a fun part of my week. So I'm glad you guys joined us. And yeah, if you guys haven't watched my Jim Carrey video, definitely go check it out. But yeah, I don't know. Figure out what you think.
Hell yeah. But let us know what you guys think in the description. And of course, no, not the description, in the comment section. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.